Hi guys, my name's Blair from goodsignal.com. In this landing page review, I'm going to show you a really good example of a well-constructed landing page. Now the cool thing is that this landing page actually exists as one of the product or service pages within a bigger website for a company that sells a whole range of products and services. But the reason why I think this example is so useful for you is it can show you that every page in your website should really act like a landing page. Google will index all of your pages, and if you've got a page that responds to a specific user's search query or search phrase, then it's quite likely that that page might be served up as the result that they click on. So it's really kind of key that when the user does end up on that page acts like a landing page and has all of those great landing page attributes that ultimately will lead that visitor to the solution that they need and the conversion that you need as the website owner. So I'm going to take you to this landing page via Google because this will bring out the first point for this particular review. The research that I was doing was to do with payment protection insurance, and in particular short-term income protection. So that was what I entered into Google, and you'll notice that one of the options up here on the right hand side says short-term income protection. So already that kind of looks like what I want because that's what I've typed into Google, and those are the words that I see over here. So the first point really for this review, which will become clear when I take you to the site, is maintaining scent for the user. So I'm the user and I've entered in a particular phrase. That's the scent that I'm kind of looking for. I'm sniffing it out and I'm kind of followed all the way to the solution, hopefully. That scent is mirrored in the advert that I'm presented with, so I'm sort of gaining confidence that this is going to be a good option for me. And so I click on the link. Now when I come through to the landing page, obviously my eyes are going to instantaneously scatter all over this page, but we kind of know that people tend to look in that top left corner, and that's really to reaffirm where they are and compared to where they expected to be and what they expected that page to sort of offer them. That usually is where the logo is, for example, and it's also usually where the sort of page title is, and for this page it says short-term income protection. So that's maintained the scent all the way through from my initial entry into Google, so what I personally typed in, the ad that I saw, and or the Google search result that I clicked on, and then it's reaffirmed on the landing page itself. So already I feel like I'm in the right place. This page is worthy of a little more of my time because it's probably going to give me what I need. So that brings us on to the landing page itself, and as you can see, the page is really nicely laid out. It feels really calm, there's loads of white space, I don't feel like I'm being bombarded with information, and it's kind of easy for me to see where the pockets of information are and how to get to what I want to know without having to weed through everything that this particular business wants to tell me. So that's kind of cool. And you'll notice as well that the way this website has grouped the information together makes sense with the way that I think about the product and service, and it's really easy for me to get to the exact answer that I'm looking for. And the way they've done that is with these what we call jQuery tabs. So overview, eligibility checklist, what are the policy details, how do I go about making a claim, quite a bit of content inside here, but I can just click through these tabs, policy details, and I can get to exactly what I want, and with just a simple click. I'm not having to wait for the page to reload, and when I'm thinking about making a claim, I can glance up here again and remind myself of the other aspects of this cover that I might want to go and check out as well without having to use the back button or kind of remember it as I'm going through. So that's a really good use of technology to assist with information architecture. The next point on here really is within these tabs, it's also easy for me to get to what I want. So on the left hand side, they've given me just sort of a headline detail with more explanation over on the right hand side. So that's a really good way of breaking up loads of content into really accessible chunks. So good job. So the last point that I want to make about this landing page is they've made a really good use of a conversion hierarchy. And what I mean by that is obviously there are certain things that the website wants people to do, but it recognizes also that there are other things that the user might need to do. For example, the user may not be ready to go ahead and get a quote. They may have a few questions, so there's a telephone number. It may not be convenient for the user to call right now on this particular number, so there's an option to have the company call you back. You may not want to call because you don't have a phone or it's not appropriate to make a call, so you can send us a query by email. Or you might want to just search for more information that you haven't been able to find on the page, and so there's a search box. Oh, and let me not forget that at the top here is an option to get some live out, some live chat. That's really, really cool as well, but notice at the moment that it's offline, so I put my mouse over it and I get a nice message there, with the alt text popping up saying, the live chat is currently offline, please try again during business hours, or click here to leave a message. So no stone is left unturned. Whatever I might want to do, that option is available to me. Secondly, though, look at the design and the way that they've prioritized or tried to create a visual hierarchy of conversion goals. So right at the top of the page, it's quite clear that this website wants me to fill out these details, and obviously the Get a Quote button is the most prominent feature on the page. There's large contrast with the background. It looks like a button. It has a good label on it that says Get a Quote. That's really good. I really like that. Also, however, the telephone number, it's in red, it stands out, it's really large. And then the smaller buttons, so send us a query, call me back, or search. So there's a visual hierarchy there which helps to reinforce the persuasiveness really of what this website wants me to do. So good use of conversion hierarchy. All the options are available to the user, but it's quite clear as well which ones are preferable. So those are the 3 points about this landing page. It's maintained the scent through from Google based on what the user typed in the first place. Really good chunking of information. If you've got a lot of information to put across to your users, make it available on little bite-sized bits and use technology to assist you with that. And then thirdly, recognize all the sorts of conversion options that a user might need to take advantage of, but also create a visual hierarchy so that your primary conversion goal and maybe your secondary conversion goal are still the most prominent features on the page. So the last point that I want to make is this landing page is an inner page within this website. It's a product landing page for short-term income protection, but notice that this was what I clicked on from Google. So I've come to this business and this website straight from Google based on the phrase that I entered, and I haven't seen this business's homepage yet. So when you're out there building your website and thinking about user journeys and all this sort of stuff, you really do have to consider that every page in your website, and in particular your product landing pages, are probably going to be mini home pages in their own right. That might very well be the page that your users end up on without going via your home page. So if you're spending so much time thinking about your home page, just make sure you're spending the same amount of time on your product landing pages. As usual, if you have any comments or suggestions, then please leave them down below as a comment. You can find more landing page reviews across on Good Signal. And my name's Blair, and this was Good Signal.